Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad MSPD Abraham, and now I will talk about business background. Rekek is the name of business entity that our group has choose for our project. Rekek is sport retailer which is primarily involved in the retail, sports footwear, apparel, and equipment. The sole proprietorship business was founded by Syed Kamal Rizwan bin Syed Omar, who is born in business background family and already involved in the business world around 10 years. Rekek opened its first store on 10 October 2021 at Jalan Kuala Barang, Kampung Bambau Patah 20050, Kuala Terengganu. This firm was established because lack of supply of the item in Kuala Terengganu with 5 experienced and talented workers. Syed Kamal Rizwan, who is the founder of the business, used her own money as the only source of capital to start the business and does not take any loan from the bank. Furthermore, Rekek also use social media platforms such as Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram as their secondary platform to sell and advertise the product in order to achieve business goals. Rekek is the sport badminton company. The business activity is to sell and supply all equipment of the badminton sport items, include attires, shoes, racket, shuttle shop, and others. In addition, it also provides printing service, changing route service, and string racket.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sakin Nur Aimiltin Minabusu. My metric number is 2022947003. Today I want to present about characteristic of Rekek business and classification of business item in Rekek business. Okay, the characteristic of the Rekek business is sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship is a business can be owned by individual. Sole proprietorship is an unincorporated business with one only owner who pay personal income tax on profit earned. Sole proprietorship are easy to establish due to the lack of the government involvement, it making them more popular with small business owners and contract. One of the main advantage of sole proprietorship is that they do not have any government protection as they are not registered. This means that all liability extend from the business to the owner. This means the liability is unlimited liability. Okay, the classification of the Rekek business. First is asset. Assets is a resources owned by a business and economic entity. These assets represent the value of ownership that can be converted to cash, even the cash also or is treated as an asset. These assets are recorded in the company balance sheet and the financial statement. In asset is divided into two main class, namely non-current asset and current asset. Okay, current asset include all company assets that are readily available for sale, used for consumption through business operation within a 1-year standard. Current asset can also identify as current account. Current asset have a high level of liquidity. Current asset include cash, inventory, account receivable, and closing stock. And for non-current asset, it can be categorized as long-term asset of a company or business whose full value will not be realized in the equity year. These assets are usually very illiquidity or not liquidity like current asset. which means this asset cannot be easily convert into the cash. For example, for non-current asset is patent, copyright, land and building, furniture, machine, and so on. So, in the Rekek business, their asset is cash, inventory, machine, furniture, and so for the Rekek business, they also have their own asset. Their asset include cash they get from sales, and then they have inventory, stock, like jersey, badminton racket, string, grip, and so on. Okay, the next asset is furniture, like table, chair. So the asset will help them to organize the business. We also divide into two classes, namely non-current liability and current liability. Non-current liability is the long-term liability. The non-current liability are obligation list in the balance sheet not due in 1 year. For example, loan from bank, mortgage payable, bond payable, and so on. Okay, and for current liability is in the short-term liability is due in 1 year or maybe some months. Okay, for example, like account payable, overdraft ban, accrued expenses, and so on. Okay, so, but in the Rekek business, they do not have any liabilities. It is because they are not preferred to using credit transaction method, and they also not borrow loan from any bank. And so third classification is capital. Capital is the money it has available to pay for its day-to-day operation and to fund its future growth. The four major types of capital include working capital, debt, equity, and trading capital. The capital also recorded on the balance sheet is equity section. The capital structure of a company determines what mix of this type of capital used to fund its business. So, economists look at the capital of a family of business or an entire economy to evaluate how efficiently it is using its resources. So, in Rekek business, they 100% use their own model to create this business.
Revenue refers to the total amount of sale or receipt during a certain time period. On the other hand, income refers to the total earning or profit. Rekek kedai badminton Terengganu earn an income sale amount 150,000. Besides, drawing refers to the act of withdrawing cash or asset from the business by the owner for personal use. Owner kedai Rekek badminton Terengganu always make a drawing rig for his family personal use. Every day, he will take 500 from the business to give to his family for their home expenditure. Besides, he also said that he will take a few goods such as badminton inventory from his business. and expenses is the reduction is value of an asset as it used to generate revenue. Expenses can be classified into two expenses, which is in operating expenses and non-operating expenses. Operating expenses are expenses which are directly involved in the business everyday operation. For example, Rekek kedai badminton Terengganu has a lot of operating expenses. For example, utility expenses for RM500 per month, worker salary for 40,000 per month, rent expenses for 2,000 per month, marketing expenses for 3,000 per month, and general expenses for 100 per month. Rekek Badminton Terengganu has not met some tax recording process for the business. The accounting circle is a basic 8-step process for completing company bookkeeping. One of the accounting basic circle is source document. A source document is the original document that contains the detail of a business transaction. A such document captures the key information about a transaction such as the name of the party involved, amount paid. Example of such document are cancel check, credits memo, deposit, and next is journal. A journal is a detailed account that records all the financial transactions of a business to be used for the future reconciling of account and the transfer of information to the official accounting record such as general ledger. However, Rekek kedai badminton Terengganu does not record the event in a appropriate journal because the owner just managed by himself and he only write down in his notebook. The third one is ledger. An accounting ledger is an account or record used to store bookkeeping entry for balance sheet and income statement transaction. For kedai badminton Terengganu, credit and debit does not record has the format. Next one is trial balance. Trial balance is financial report showing the closing balance of all accounts in the general ledger at point in time. Owner does not prepare the trial balance but only record in book, which help him to know about the business account status. Adjust entry or journal entry makes at the end of an accounting cycle to update certain revenue and expenses account and to make sure you comply with the matching principle. Owner rarely do adjustment in his business. He said that he will just write down in his note on what happened in the adjustment and recalculate the value again. The next one is adjust trial balance. And in any adjust trial balance is the balance list of the general ledger account balance after any adjustment have been made. The business not make any adjust trial balance since from the beginning because they did not use any proper costing system. Financial statement are written record the convey to the business activity and the financial performance of a company. Financial statements are often audited by government and accountant. He also not been able to do this. One is reversing entry. A reversing entry is a journal entry made in accounting period, which reverse select entry made in the immediately preceding period. The reversing entry typically occur at the beginning of an accounting period.
I will present about strength and weakness of recording process of the business. The first strength, they will know performance of their business. Accounting reports may be used by business owner to gauge how well their company is operating. Financial reports are a dependable method of assessing important performance indicators, allowing business owners to compare themselves to compare performance as well as levels. Second strength, keeping of business record. When you maintain transaction records up to date, you can create reliable financial reports that aid in monitoring business success. Detailed record will also be beneficial in the event of tax audit. It will also allow you to repeatedly obtain precise details about every spending or revenue
necessity in certain circumstances. Companies, banks, and insurance firms may be compelled to preserve and maintain financial and accounting records. Keeping accurate record of income, spending, personnel, tax paperwork, and account is not just prudent business practice. Third stream, they can avoid mismanagement if their business during the recording process. Mismanagement of funds is a significant cause of small business failure. Accounting in establishing a company's liquidity, which refers to the cash and other liquid resources available to pay off financial obligations. The data decreases the danger of bankruptcy by detecting the weakness of the manual recording process. Firstly, inadequate visibility and control. Accounting entails a plethora of work, ranging from bills and invoice to bank statement and other financial data. If you use a manual method, this may be later overwhelming and difficult to track. Monitoring and reporting payments, for example, might be problematic. Manual tracking will be required at all times, from data entry and processing through updating and reconciling actual payments. Another weakness is lack of security. One of the most difficult aspects of manual accounting is security. It is extremely difficult to track and monitor critical company and consumer information when dealing with paper documents. While the digital data can be damaged, proper backup can secure data, including copies of sites such as in cloud server storage. Journal and ledger, like tangible volumes, are prone to loss. Accounting data may be lost due to theft or fire. When compared to many digital storage choices, replicating and storing the journal ledger offsite might be time-consuming job. Third weakness are process inefficiency. Because of Rekek'S store is still tracking invoice manually, they most likely have lengthy and difficult payment processing system. This might lead to late payments and dissatisfied suppliers. Their account may be suspended or may be charged a substantial interest rate. It might also harm credit score and reputation in the business. Furthermore, an inefficient manual procedure can place a lot of strain on the account payable staff, resulting in disgruntled personnel and subpar outcomes. Each invoice takes longer to complete, and they must be extra cautious while manually inputting data into the system. They would most likely want to be concentrating on more strategic duties. Third weakness are process inefficiency. Because of Rekek'S store is still tracking invoice manually, they most likely have lengthy and difficult payment processing system. This might lead to late payments and dissatisfied suppliers. Their account may be suspended or may be charged a substantial interest rate. It might also harm credit score and reputation in the business. Furthermore, an inefficient manual procedure can place a lot of strain on the account payable staff, resulting in disgruntled.
In a nutshell, adopting the accounting concept into a company is purely simple to provide quantitative data that allow for a holistic assessment of the organization's success. Accounting is a service-oriented profession. It is significant because it offers diverse stakeholder quantitative financial information that can be utilized to make economic decisions. It is critical to keep our accounting records clean and up-to-date in today's dynamic and complicated company climate. Accounting is crucial to every organization. since its age in studying business performance, managing and monitoring cash flow, and ensuring statutory compliance. It is also required for a corporate goal planning. Accounting not only aids in the efficient operation of a company day-to-day operation, but also in future expansion. As a result, Rekek must run the company using an accounting system.